From Studio 3 at Buzz TV, it's The Horse's Mouth with Tom McManus.
All right, time once again for another edition of The Horse's Mouth here at Tommy Mac's, of course, at my bar, where people just like to show up and tell their story. And guess what? They're all welcome to do so. Always a great time here on this show, brought to our good friends at the Heritage Capital Group and at Farther. Coach Campo is back. Daniel Gilham is back from Farther. We're going to talk a little science, a little drones, a little bit of everything as we get along here on The Horse's Mouth. Let's welcome in Coach Campo. What's up, Coach?
How you doing, Tom?
How you doing?
I'm good.
Did you ever bring science into your game planning or anything, or maybe nutrition with your players?
Well,
where does science fit in coaching?
Well, first of all, technology, if that's what you're talking about.
Okay,
when I
fair.
first got into coaching, this is how I'm dating myself.
Right.
There was one big mainframe computer that serviced the entire college.
Whoa.
And we had to tap into that.
Wow.
Okay, and it was one of those deals where you had to, when you put the information in, it took you about an hour and 20 minutes to get one game into there. You'd have to go 0, 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that was that play. Now,
Wow.
you can talk into it and everything goes. So it's definitely computers and technology and science is huge.
You know, I learned to
honestly.
watch tape my freshman year at BC, the 8mm that when it would break, you'd have to splice it.
Yeah,
I got
splice it,
really
put them
good.
up on the
I got
wall.
really good
Absolutely.
at splicing that thing. Great to have you, Coach.
Thanks.
Denny Thompson's back. Hey, Denny.
Oh, man.
How
Good.
are you?
Great.
Whispering out there at all the
yeah.
QBs.
Yep, trying.
How many clients do you have right now? Guys that are playing right now? College,
Playing
high school,
college.
pro?
We have over 1,000 clients.
Wow.
Yeah, but that's
It's
a
different
misnomer.
times.
Yeah, it's like that. I'm counting everything.
Yep.
We have 13 right now in the NFL.
Okay.
51, 52 in college. And
How would you, and not to put you on the spot, but how would you assess Trevor Lawrence so far in his young career in the NFL?
Really well. I think really well. He's a tough kid.
Very tough.
I think his pocket awareness is really good. All the things that's hard to teach, he has. Just very instinctual with it. Excuse me. Mechanically, I think he's still working. He's a long kid. He is 20, what is he, 22, 23, something
Very
like that.
young.
He's 6'6", and he's just long. So I think given all of that, I would give him a solid A. There's some things he needs to touch up, but I think that's more as a team they need to touch up.
Fair enough.
Timing, routes, things like that.
I want to see him take off and run more. Every time he does that, to me, it clicks his whole game forward.
Yeah, no doubt.
Gets him into the flow and the rhythm, and getting a first down with your legs is just as good as getting one with your arm.
Is that the linebacker coming out in you?
Maybe.
Like you want to take off so you can hit him, or?
No, I want him because I see it out of him, and I think a lot of quarterbacks that are like that, that run and pass. I think when they get into the flow, that run, it's like stealing a base. It's like that momentum, right? I got a first down. Everything broke down. I took off and ran and got the first down.
Well,
and then I'm back in.
You know how frustrating it is. On the other side,
absolutely.
Cover everything perfectly. Play it the way you're supposed to play it, and then move the chains.
Son of a gun takes off.
Right.
Wish you had like a bow and arrow to take it down or something. Good to have you. Danny Gilham, how are you, bud?
Doing well.
Good to see you, Professor, right? Can I call you Professor or Doc, PhD? What am I calling you?
Yeah.
You need a nickname now that you're a PhD.
Yeah, so pretty excited to finally wrap up a 3.5-year program down at the University of South Florida.
Wow.
Did some research around inhibitors to adoption of comprehensive planning for business owners.
Okay.
And it ties perfectly into the science, and a big piece of that, the 3 themes that I found in research were time, cognition, and risk. And a lot of that is the behavioral finance side of the equation. So it was a ton of fun to dive into that, and look forward to how we can extrapolate that and impact the community. Hopefully,
that is science.
Yeah.
Or scientific.
Yeah, and the industry as a whole. Our goal is to elevate what it means to be an advisor to business owners.
Okay, great. All right, Scott Forbes, how are you, my man?
Good.
Verizon Drones, is that right?
Yes, that's exactly right.
All right, tell us about first of all, thank you for your service.
You're welcome.
And what did you do in the military again?
So I was in the military for 25 years. I was a Black Hawk test pilot and maintenance operations manager.
God bless you, man. Cheers to that.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, see it.
Come on, God bless
Absolutely.
Yep. And what are you doing today? Tell us about Verizon Drones.
So I took that experience. We talked about this earlier. Transitioned out of the military, and then that's a challenging thing to do.
Yep.
The first job I took at Verizon was as an analyst,
Okay.
which I was completely out of my scope. And then this opportunity with drones came up.
Okay.
So I am the senior analyst for drone safety and standards.
Oh,
so
cool.
Making sure that everything we're doing, we're thinking about that risk. There's always some risk,
Yeah.
but we mitigate it as best as we can. And some of the ways we mitigate that is having a common standard for all of our commercial pilots.
That's the drones are like one of the fastest growing. I mean, it came out of nowhere. Now it's everywhere.
Yes.
When was the first? I'm sure military used drones way before people, but how about just in the
We've been using drones
consumer
for
market?
years.
When did that come out? Like
I mean,
10 years maybe?
Yeah, within 10 years. Really
wild.
started hitting the field, I would say, in the past 5 years. We
Yeah.
started seeing an increase in scope of what we do.
Yep.
But there's still so much more innovation to be done.
Sure.
And as we start to tie in artificial intelligence,
Yep.
the things that we could do with drones would astound you.
Yeah, you know what's amazing about science? You can call it science, whatever you want to call it, but the analytics you can have. It's like a football team that looks great on paper. You look at them, you look at their stats, they look great. The lineup looks great, the roster, everything of that, and then you play them, you're like, they're not that great, right? They don't. The will's not there. The personal attitude, right? Even though with all this great science, it's still going to come down to humans, right? And then the human race and just how we interact, how we grow, how we handle things. You agree with that? I mean, the science is great. I mean, you're talking about some heavy stuff, especially for a bartender. But at the end of the day, it's going to come down to still, person to person, business to business, and
absolutely
have that interaction.
I'll add in that one of the themes that I found that was so prevalent across all of my focus groups and interviews and case studies that I designed was trust. It was so prevalent that I had to remove it and add it as an area for continued research because it would have taken over my entire research and dissertation. So it is. In our field, as soon as you have money or complexity, you're going to seek the advice of a trusted advisor.
Right.
And we hear about all this technology and robo-advice and all of that, but no, I mean, it's, how do we trust in this technology that's going to deliver some functionality for us in a way that gives us a degree of confidence?
Yeah,
I think in the sports world, the word for that is chemistry. Right, you get the science, you get the trust, and that equals chemistry.
That's right.
Right, and I think that's every single business has its own version of chemistry.
Yeah. You need to teach a course on that, I think.
Yeah,
that was pretty
good. Absolutely.
That was pretty strong right there.
Do what we can.
Let's do it together.
Right. There you go. Absolutely.
But it's interesting now, the other facet for us, at least in the drone space, is regulations. So some things that hinder our adoption is FAA regulations. They're getting much better and much more limiting us less.
Yeah.
But you're seeing it now also in AI, right? They're talking more regulations on AI. But that will slow down that progress.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, they need some regulation, though, right? Or it'd be the Wild Wild West.
Yes.
Like
you need that right
certain
balance.
things
Not
haven't.
too much, but enough to make sure you do it.
No doubt. Balance is the key, isn't it? Offense, defense, everything. All right. Great to have you guys. Appreciate your time. And being on the show, make sure you check out their profiles at the dailynewsnetwork.com website. Until next time, y'all stay safe and be cool out there, and we'll see you right here on The Horse's Mouth. Cheers.
Cheers.
The team at Heritage Capital Group is special because it's a collection of people across the spectrum.
We have people who have been in the shoes of owners that are looking to buy and sell, and professionals that have executed transactions helping buy and sell companies for decades.
I think when you talk to us, see what our experience is, see what our skills are, see the reach that we have, you'll be very happy with the recommendation.